I see Lucas.
Okay, I'm gonna bring him up. Give me a second. Hi, Lucas.
Hey, good afternoon.
Let's wait for a couple more people to come in.
Hey, Lucas, where are you right now? What city?
I'm still in New York. Just wrapped up Tech,
Uh,
New York yesterday, and just a few more hours until I head back to San Diego.
what what is your weather like there? We're about to have a big storm here. I don't know where. Tamika, you're in Broward right now.
Yeah, I'm in Broward.
It's gonna rain here.
Yeah, no, it's gonna rain, so hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow because I'm supposed to be doing the breast cancer walk.
Where is that walk?
It's gonna be at Bayfront Park
Oh,
tomorrow
nice.
morning. Yeah.
Nice.
The weather in New York is bright and sunny, so no signs of any storms out here. So looking forward to getting out of the city a little bit later before my flight.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Are you in? Are you? I take it you're in Manhattan right now.
Yeah, in Manhattan still.
Let's see. Pinging in a couple of more people to come in. I'm gonna probably wait like another 3 to 4 minutes. And
Well,
Stephen and Michael probably on the phone or something.
yeah, and we are having. There's Stephen, and Daniel is now going to be broadcasting this on other platforms, which is nice. Simulcasting it, which is always nice. We have LinkedIn and Facebook and uh, some other ones that we also share this feed with. So we'll get some more listeners on different platforms. Welcome all those that are coming in.
Yes, everyone's slowly but surely coming on in. I see everyone coming in, so I'm gonna wait another 2 to 3 more minutes. And I guess Stephen, you can introduce, or you can, Paul, can you can introduce Lucas to the audience.
Hi, Tamika. Hey, Paul. Hey,
Hi,
Lucas. How are you
how
guys
are
doing
you?
today?
Finding you.
Doing good. Thanks. Looking forward to hearing about the new product that Lucas has to talk to us about today. Very sounds like a very interesting. Lucas, did we meet at the C5 in New York a couple of weeks ago? I think I met you or your partner.
Yeah, that's correct. We were at C5, and yeah, we had a good time out there.
Yeah, that was quite a great event. Tamika was there, and a lot of us from Miami Commercial was there. Paul was there. Did a great job putting up the Miami Realtors commercial booth, and a lot of the Reach companies were also there. There was 5 or 6 Reach companies there, which I know you guys are one of those, Lucas. So we really appreciated the opportunity to visit New York and to network with you and some of your Reach compatriots.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you think of C5 overall? I mean, that was the first year that event kind of kicked off. How'd you feel it went?
Yeah, I thought it was fabulous. I mean, all the presentations, they had so many different presentations in the big ballroom with just a variety of different things. Really enjoyed all of that. I thought Charlie Oppler, of president of NAR, did a fabulous job. Yeoman's work getting this event off the ground. I mean, it was the first one in what will be an annual series of conferences. I know that they've scheduled the next one for, I think, mid-August 2022 in the same Marriott Marquis location, right in right there in Times Square. So that's going to be fabulous. And I thought the event came off really well. Um, and I think it's got a lot of room for growth and increased networking and deal making in the future years. What about you? How did you enjoy the interactions you had when you were there?
I thought overall it was really great. I mean, obviously for an initial event like that, people are still, getting back to conferences and, meeting in person, which has been great. And looking forward to next year when, maybe it's double the size or something like that, and just kind of seeing the continued growth and, really, really enjoy seeing NAR really putting a bigger focus on commercial and really just, thrusting that into the spotlight so that there's, just more action there.
We missed you at the commercial conference this year. I knew you couldn't come. You mentioned you heard it was good. We had a great turnout, about 300 people. So this is our members' first chance to learn a little bit about Valkyrie. Let me start by just asking you, why did you decide commercial appraisals was the area that you wanted to create a dynamic fintech platform?
Yeah, so I've been in the appraisal industry since 2007. I started working at Colliers at the time, then in 2008, and really just learned the business, and with the intention of trying to learn as much as I could about what drives value on properties, and in doing so, just kind of started to build other technology for myself and my team to be more efficient. And that sort of evolved into a much larger project where I spent, the next 6 years building out the entire technology stack that Colliers International still uses to this day for their entire valuation arm here in the U.S. And so it was just kind of a natural evolution to, strike out on my own with a few co-founders to really build a product that would, suit the entire market and provide the best technology out there for appraisers and people in the valuation industry to, complete those valuations in a much more accurate and timely manner.
Great. So I guess one of the billion-dollar question is, where are you getting your data and your comps from?
Yeah, so we have a public property data integration through Cherry, uh, getting all of their base layer data where they pull in that information from all 3,000 different counties here in the U.S. So we provide that sort of base level tax assessment and property data, and then beyond that, appraisers are in my opinion the single best curators of data in the industry because they touch so much of it. They're working on 5 to 10 projects a month, and that's 5 to 10 subject properties, and within each one of those appraisal reports, you're dealing with at least 10 comparables that they're using. So they're getting those comparables and other property data from confirming with market participants, brokers like yourselves, property owners or tenant reps or landlords and tenants themselves. And they're getting a lot of that starter information from other property listing services, whether it's CoStar or CompStack or any of the other products out there that kind of have those leads. But for appraisers specifically, they really they have to confirm that data with somebody related to the transaction, whether it's the broker or the owner, to provide that information in the appraisal. And if they don't confirm it with somebody directly tied to the transaction, they need to disclose that, and that obviously can make that data maybe less credible and less reliable. So they really go out there and try to get the most accurate data that they can.
Any other questions from the team up here? I so just to clarify, you automatically populated with the county data, the sold data from that. Are appraisers inputting their own data? Or are they sharing some data with you in the system, or are they including that separately with your integrated tax data?
Yeah, so each appraisal company that we have as clients, they have their own individual database that they put data into, and they're not sharing it between company to company unless they're actually sending it to those other companies. Each one of their databases are their own confidential database where they're able to store and house all of the data that they confirm, and really use that as their edge in the market to help facilitate them completing their appraisals and providing the best analysis that they can.
I know that one of the things that you're extremely proud of is the reports that are created on your in your system and the way that they look. And can you talk a little bit about how users can create reports? And is that something, since we have a lot of brokers on here, that they could use for kind of a broker's price opinion, or in their business? How would they use it versus appraisers?
That's a great question. It's something we've been transitioning into and bringing on brokers from around the country to use the product for a BOV or BPO type of reports. We see our clients' reputation is everything, and their brand is a big part of that. And so we white label the entire product to each one of our clients to ensure that their branding and reports look exactly how they want them and have the flexibility to do so, and bringing in all the information and data that is housed inside of their Valkyrie database, bringing in those comparables, and analysis maps and tables with information, so we can generate BOVs and BPOs in a matter of seconds, provided the comparable data is input into the system. You just click a few buttons and you've got a branded report ready to go, and you can add additional data to that, or you can um, just use it as is and send it off to your clients.
You recently added affordable housing and gas stations. You're doing the all the basic food groups: the office, industrial, retail, land, multifamily. But can you tell us about what asset classes you currently have added and which ones you're looking to add in the future?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, we recently added C-store gas stations. We also have quick serve restaurants, self-storage, mixed use, and we just recently completed hospitality. And now, over the next quarter, we're going to be completing senior housing, eminent domain specifics, as well as student housing. And that should really round out the rest of the property types that are really out there. So.
Is that from the same data? Are you pulling that same data from Cherry, or is that from? Are you getting alternative sources?
At this point, we're just pulling that data from Cherry, but we're always we're going to be expanding into additional APIs and data providers to help facilitate bringing in more data to make that process of completing those reports much easier and faster.
I have one more question, then hopefully someone else unmutes and asks some questions. And I'm kind of asking this question for my good friend who's listening in, Eddie Lim. How would we have a lot of people that do business, that are business brokers, and are there ways that you can see them using this tool to be able to evaluate not just the real estate, but to better understand businesses in the community?
Yeah, so specifically to like going concerns or for business valuations themselves.
More business valuations themselves, or any kind of data in your system that helps them better understand the climate for businesses.
Yeah, so we don't currently have anything tied into the business side for doing business valuations or anything of that nature, but it's certainly something that we have been assessing to decide if it's something we want to pursue and continue to build out and kind of bring business valuers and into the fold to provide them great software. Obviously, they're providing a instrumental service to the community of you know bringing those business valuations, and we'd like to give them the best technology that they can. And there are a few options out there, but we'd like to be able to provide them a better service.
Quick question: how many markets is your system in? How many markets are you guys covering?
Yeah, so we've got clients all over the US, Canada, as well as Australia. And we've got clients in nearly every state. I think maybe North Dakota might be the only state that we don't have clients in currently. So that's in every major market that across the U.S., all the top 100 MSAs, and then because the way that appraisers are much like a fragmented industry, a lot of our clients are in tertiary markets, secondary markets where you're not dealing with like CBRE and Colliers and those sorts of large institutions. They don't have offices there, so there's a lot of boots on the ground, local appraisers that sole proprietors that work for themselves that do work in those markets.
So as a mix of your client base, how do you set up that pie chart? Is it like 50% brokers and 50% appraisers, or how does that, or whatever else profession would subscribe to your product? How does that?
Yeah, so it's probably about 90% appraisers, and the other 10% would be brokers or assessors, folks who work at county assessor offices that, work on tax appeals and that kind of work. And we've only more recently started to transition into the broker industry to provide kind of services for brokers on the BOV and BPO side. So it's definitely a growing uh, line for us on that side.
That made me think, Stephen's question made me think a little bit about how NAR reach, and working with them and working with realtors, the National Association of Realtors and local realtors, and getting feedback from them has changed your business model and or the services you offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was one of the big draws for us to get involved with the NAR Reach program is that, we really wanted to talk to brokers and understand exactly what their needs were so that we could, provide a product that was something they actually wanted to use and, have that feedback loop. And it's been, really instrumental in understanding the workflow of brokers and, trying to not change the way that they're doing things, but just make their process more streamlined so that they're not doing the tedious process of trying to put together that BOV, which a lot of times can be a longer process, especially in some of the larger teams where they're sending it off to their marketing team to brand up and aggregate all that data together, and it comes back to the broker, and they want to make a small change, and you got to go back through that entire process to create that report. And we really want to empower brokers to be able to create those documents much faster from their end without having to involve a lot of other team members, so they can speed to market. They can provide those to their clients in a much faster manner.
Welcome, David Altman. Thank you for coming up on the stage. And anyone else that has a question, I see that you're very involved in the hotel side. Did you have a question for Lucas or anything you wanted to share with us today, David?
Uh, no, I didn't have any questions. Just listening in. Tamika invited me up, but no, I mean it sounds interesting what he's doing, and if anybody has a question about hotels, I'm happy to answer hotel questions. But just listening.
Lucas, is hotels part of your appraisal evaluations as well?
Yeah, we just recently built out a hotel model that provides for the entire analysis for appraising hotels. So, complete penetration analysis and, also built out for dual branded hotels, being able to handle those assets as they're much newer into the industry, but they represent plenty in major markets, and we wanted to make sure that our product was capable of handling those types of assets to make the workflow that just that much easier for appraisers. And so that hotel valuation platform is in its final round of testing, and we'll have it out to our users here shortly, probably by the end of the month.
Do you guys offer any kind of, 30-day free look or 2-week free look so people can get their arms around what this is and what the different features and attributes of the product would be for their own use?
I mean, we certainly offer, we can demo the product for, anybody out there. Certainly happy to provide access to the online database so that folks can get a feel for that. Because we white label the entire product to each one of our clients, a lot of times when we do free trials, because there's no, they don't have any skin in the game, they just kind of look at it and they're like, well, I don't want to take the time to do this. It didn't cost me anything. So 30 days goes by and not much, really usage happens within that trial. So, we're certainly open to doing it. It's just, wanting to make sure that there's a real commitment from folks to, get in there and try to understand it and use the product. And, the product itself is incredibly intuitive and easy to use. And, it's a real testament to our team who's built it out, that has made it so easy and user friendly.
Thinking looking at a different angle of this, Lucas, you were previously a broker yourself, weren't you?
I wasn't a broker. I was on the appraisal side.
On the appraisal side. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have any thoughts or any ideas of how our members could use this system from a prospecting perspective, since some of them are still growing their business?
It's something that the data that we're getting from Cherry, for example, we're building out a new portal within our platform to help with research and being able to search for, property owners and, seeing what other properties that they own, drilling into, and, unmasking those identities so they can get to the information. We're going to be building that out over the next quarter here to really bring in a lot more data to help with those prospecting items, and just allowing users to dig into the data a little bit more, because at this point they're able to pull in that data, look at the data, but it's more on an individual parcel basis. And so we want to really expand that out so that they can really see the connectivity between different properties that owners have ownership of, or that have sold recently, and you're really giving them the ability to search for parcels of a certain size, or building size, and just showing those across the entire market.
That sounds like a nice feature that would be really useful for brokers. So we're all looking forward to seeing you guys roll that out. You say that by the end of the first quarter next year, we should be able to have use of that with the subscription.
Yeah, that's correct. That's something we're targeting for first quarter of next year, and hopefully we can deliver that a lot sooner. But I think it really stands as something that can be really beneficial to our users, and just provide another level of expertise and talent there. I would say, one other thing about, our roadmap is that, we're always listening to our clients for feedback in terms of, what features they're looking for. And, a lot of that really drives, where our roadmap does go, because we want to offer, the best tools and software out there for our clients that, are going to make them more successful. If we make our clients look like heroes, then that's a win for us.
Kevin Kruger, how are you? What do you think of Valkyrie and what you've heard so far, and information that Lucas has given us?
Good morning, everybody. Kevin Kruger at Rise Realty. Really just listening in, Stephen. Lucas, I did jump onto your website. I've got a couple clients that I've got to do some commercial comparisons for and appraisals. So good to know there's resources out here like you've got.
Hey, Craig, how are you? How are you feeling today? You got any insights or questions for Lucas about the Valkyrie appraisal software that they offer?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, Craig Emanuel, Commercial Realty Advisors and Investment Group. Yeah, so I was just taking a look at the site and just looking at your pricing and things of that nature, and looks like to be very fair. There's no contract. You can cancel at any time. Seems to be a lot of information, lot of setup. No setup fees, no hidden fees, no cancellation fees. That's all good in these times of uncertainty with COVID. So I think that I encourage people to get out there and give it a spin and see, spend the $99 and see what it has to offer and see if it gives you a return.
In the in the meantime, Lucas, I know that you do have a free tool there, so people might encourage people to check out the website, which is valcre.com, VILCRE.com, and then for the free, it's /free. But that will give them some economic data so they can kind of check out the system. Can you talk a little bit about how that type of data that you've integrated into the system?
Yeah, so the free tool there is really designed to kind of show, just one level of expertise that we have, which is, building out and integrating, public data and other data sources out there. And that particular free tool allows you to generate, graphs and charts for unemployment and employment data for, any particular market, and you can brand that to your specific needs there. And it's really just there as a, we want to provide that to users, because a lot of times going to the bls.gov website can be a little bit cumbersome, not as user friendly as it could be. And so we wanted to provide something that was very easy. You just choose your state, choose your county, choose your MSA, and just hit the button, and it pulls in all that unemployment and employment data. And really, we do integrations with several other providers. We pull in census data, we pull in economic data from Fred, demographic data, and obviously integrations in with Cherry for public property data. And we also have integrations built out with cash flow softwares out there like Argus Enterprise and Rockport Val.
This is Michael Hinton at Apex. I heard you just mention Rockval. We met with them yesterday. Some interesting things that they're doing as well. I was going to ask, because in commercial we always talk about the different ways of evaluating the property, and I've heard you talk Cherry, but I was wondering, and I think you just answered it, valuation from a cash flow side. Can you give us some insight on how that's determined on your valuations?
And so the discounted cash flow softwares that our users choose to use, whether it's Argus Enterprise or Rockport Val, they can go through their entire DCF process to get those results, and then we automatically can bring those results into our users' workflow in a matter of seconds, instead of really making them do a tedious process of copying and pasting and trying to mess around with the sort of base outputs that come from those different software platforms. And so we've streamlined that to just bring it right into their workflow, so that they can populate their rent roll and all of their income approach within their valuations. And so just it makes that process just that much smoother. And the real impetus is that we're trying to help appraisers complete those valuations faster, because they're holding up the process and the deal making. And so the faster that those appraisals are done, the faster that the deals get done. And it's obviously there's not very many transactions out there that are occurring without the appraisal process within them. So if there's something that we can do to make it faster, that's something we're looking to do.
Okay, you said Rockport Rockport Val, which is different than Rock Val. My apologies. I'm getting the two similar names confused. Apologize.
Yeah, I am familiar with the Rock Val guys as well, and we're potentially looking at an integration with them here sometime soon. So if that's something that you think is interesting that would be helpful, definitely let us know, and happy to look into it deeper.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, we see a lot of these great tools and we know that you pull a lot of great data, but on a practitioner side, I know some of our frustrations has been, why can't some of these tools talk to each other, share data, and I, I I dream of the day when I can go to one screen or maybe two screens and be able to do my job and not have to open several other things. So I'm fascinated when I hear you guys sharing data and being able to consolidate things and make our jobs a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean that's really the name of the game, and I think that a lot of these incumbent large real estate software companies have really put a stronghold on people and kind of like locked away their data and their access to connectivity. And it's something that we strongly believe in giving users the ability to choose where they want to, what products they want to use and how they want to connect them. And so, data integrations and integrations with other complementary software, it's a very high priority for us because we want to make sure that software can connect in and users are able to facilitate the transition of data if they choose to from one product to another. Because if it makes their lives easier, then they're going to continue to use it. And the name of the game is just make that process faster and easier for people.
Hey, Lucas, speaking of integration, tell us about your partnership with Fuel and how your forecasting integrated within your system could help out uh, brokers be able to forecast and maybe even help out with cap rate.
Yeah, so Fuel, another discounted cash flow software. Um, we had that nearly completed with that integration, but we've had some stumbling with them since they were purchased by RealPage, and we really love to wrap that integration up. But it's just something that we're working through the motions and on our side. But it's another option out there in terms of DCF modeling software, whether you're using Rockport Val or Argus Enterprise or RockVal. Fuel's another great option, and I think their their product is intuitive as well and works well in the industry. I'm not sure if are you guys using that tool down there in Florida?
Well, I saw it on your website that you guys had a integration, so I was just trying to get more information. It's still uh, I guess, a press release here from on your website that you have that partnership, but you're saying that partnership is kind of stalling out, and it's not going to be something that will be accessible from your platform.
Yeah, it's not something that is currently um, ready for public consumption just yet because we're still working through that integration process with Fuel and RealPage, their new owner.
Got it. Got it. All right, understood. Thank you.
Switching gears a little bit, since you've had nearly 15 years of experience on the appraisal side, what what aspects of appraisal, what changes are you seeing in the industry, and where do you see it in 5 or 10 years?
It's a great question. I'll pull out my crystal ball here.
We
Moving
can't
forward,
see it because it's on Clubhouse, but I'll believe that you pulled it out.
Yeah, we'll believe
yeah.
it.
Well, I'm definitely not going to project cap rates, that's for sure. But I think in general for the appraisal industry and at large is the speed to market. They've got to be faster completing those appraisals, and I think that as more and more appraisers continue to retire, and we've got to bring more younger talent back into the industry. And that younger talent is going to expect the best technology. They're used to doing everything on their phones. I mean, we're using a new technology right now with Clubhouse, and so those newer appraisers and trainees that are getting into the industry, they expect the best technology, and we want to provide that to them as well. And it's something that we spend a lot of time doing is supporting new trainee appraisers and providing scholarships and things like that to the industry to really entice them and get them interested in the appraisal profession overall, because it's something that we need more of in the industry. And so I think in general people are going to be trying to complete appraisals faster. And from a our clients perspective, the banks that are ordering those appraisals, they're expecting a lot more analysis and understanding of what's going on in that market. And when an appraiser is providing different assumptions for those projects, they really should be providing benchmarking information to know where does this asset fall in the general range of all the assumptions that they're making. And so, and if something is falling outside of those benchmarks, really disclosing and describing exactly why that's happening right up front, so that there's less questions and less ambiguity as they're reading through those appraisals and wondering what are the valuation drivers.
Okay. Paul and Michael, Kevin, Craig. Does anyone else have any questions for Lucas?
Anyone in the
Not for
audience?
me today.
Go ahead, Michael. Go for it.
No, no, I was just saying nothing else for me. I'll be the first to tell you, I've learned a lot because, appraisals have not been on my forefront of things to focus on, but you've given us some great insight on some new things that are coming out, and something that's obviously super important to everything in our industry as far as financing and valuations, and proving when we put a deal together, we have to back it up with financing and backing with the data from you guys to show that we were right on target or high or low or whatever on our deal making process. So it's been very, very informative. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely happy to be here, and happy to continue the conversation. If you guys want to email me directly or get in touch, happy to talk through the commercial appraisal industry and ways that appraisers can help you guys as well. That's something that I think is always important, is just continuing that relationship between brokers and appraisers. It's imperative within the industry.
Okay. I have one more quick question. What's your turnaround time of getting your data and everything? I mean, everything is going at light speed right now, especially here in South Florida. We're doing so much development and everything, and so many commercial transactions are going on right now, and they're going to continue on well into 2022 and beyond. So, do you guys have a turnaround of getting data and everything, or getting updated data?
In terms of like the data from Cherry, their foundation data is updated quite often, and it really varies county to county and when that data is occurring. And happy to look into when the data in South Florida is updated and what the cadence looks like there, because I agree with you. It's a very important to have that data, the most recent data available, whether it's the sales that are closing, and having that data at your fingertips is really critical. So I'm happy to figure out the answer to that and respond, shoot you an email on what's going on there.
Okay, awesome.
Well, if there isn't anything else, Tamika, this is good. We got to grill Lucas on a Friday at noon, our regular time. We host this every Friday, and we'll be making announcements early next week when we're going to be doing this again. But we'll have to have Lucas do a demo and show us, maybe send us some reports, and so we can share that with people. Anything
That'd be
else as we
awesome.
head into the weekend, Tamika?
There's nothing else. As I have to ask Michael, Kevin, Craig, anyone in the audience, do you guys have any more other questions that you would like to ask Lucas? Or did you guys receive as much detailed information as I did today?
Just a big thanks for coming out and joining us on Clubhouse. We appreciate it. We find this format to be a lot of fun and very informative, very casual, but not having to put together a whole bunch of PowerPoint slides and everything. We're just talking and hanging out, and I appreciate it. You joining us, Lucas.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Lucas, for coming on.
And thank you all for the opportunity, and looking forward to the next one. And I'm definitely looking forward to providing any sort of demos or sample reports to anyone that's interested as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Because I'm sitting here right now
Yeah.
browsing your website.
One last thing, Lucas. Yeah, and I'm sorry, Lucas, I didn't get a chance to meet you in person in C5 in New York a couple of weeks ago. You guys were there.
Yeah, we were there at C5, and we'll
Yeah,
be at
me neither.
national conference in San Diego, coming out there.
Okay, cool. So some of us are going to be out there in San Diego. So we'll certainly look you up. That's in a couple of weeks, 3, 4 weeks, I guess. Paul, what's the dates on San Diego? The 7th or the 9th of November? About
Yeah.
two.
Well, it's the second week essentially of November, and we're looking. It's actually a little later than that than you had mentioned, but we're looking forward to it, and many of us will be there, so we're going to see you and look forward to seeing you.
If I may, one more announcement. For those of you, November 2nd, here in Miami, IREM, Miami Commercial, and CCIM are all partnering together, co-sponsoring an event for networking at the Doral Topgolf. And I believe it's $45 for a ticket, some drinks, some food, a couple hours of Topgolf. So we're going to be networking with the people from IREM, Miami Commercial, and CCIM. So keep that date open, November 2nd, out at the Doral Topgolf. So that'll be a lot of fun. So put that on your calendar.
Yeah, I think I do have that information from the CCIM about the Top Golf, and I said I wanted to go ahead and sign up for that event as well.
It's worth it just to see Michael whiff the ball. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, with a wing in his mouth, and he's gonna be swinging away, swinging. I guarantee you.
Is that before or after?
I think before and after. That's just an educated guess.
Oh, lordy, lordy, stop.
So it sounds like a challenge. So you can see us challenge each other, and we're raising some money for St. Jude's too. So maybe Michael and I'll have a friendly bet, and some of the money will go to St. Jude's. So awesome.
Yes.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. The skies are a little less cloudy right now, so hopefully you have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, everyone. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. I want to close it out in the next 20 seconds. Thanks, everyone.
Go out there, make a lot of money before the weekend.
Yes. Bye, everyone.